Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. What are we talking about today, Sue?
We are talking about something really fun and really cool, and that is lucid dreaming.
Yes.
So, what is a lucid dream?
Basically, it's a dream where, how did you describe it to me? It's where you're aware that you're dreaming.
Yes, that's it. That's it. When you are dreaming and you realize that you are dreaming, you are lucid.
Mm-hmm.
Lucid just means aware. And so we become aware. We're conscious when we're awake, and when we're sleeping, we're not unconscious, but we're like subconscious. I don't know how maybe we are unconscious. We're not consciously awake.
Yes.
Unless you lucid dream. So if you have a dream where you realize that you are dreaming, then you are lucid. And so you might wonder, maybe this has happened to you, maybe it hasn't. It's happened to me many times in my life, but I've never been able to do it intentionally. I've always done it spontaneously. But there is some relevance to manifesting. And one of the cool things, I know we've talked a little bit about dreams in the past. I don't know if we've talked a lot, but it's one of the ways that you can tell that your subconscious has been impressed.
Yes.
It also is a really good indication of what your dominant state is. And that's why I love dreams and why I really pay attention to what my dreams are. If you are someone who has trouble remembering your dreams, I would say the best thing that you can do is to, when you wake up after dreaming, think before you even open your eyes, think about any possible details or feelings that you could remember from when you were sleeping. Write it down immediately. Really, before you even shift to, like picking up your phone or getting up and having coffee, whatever your morning routine is, just take a minute and try and think about what your dreams are. And even if you don't remember anything, if you do that every day, what you're telling your subconscious is, this is important to remember, and you will start to remember. And then I also recommend keeping a dream journal. Writing down your dreams when they happen, because the more details that you can remember, again, the easier it's going to be to remember in the future.
Yes.
And so why I wanted to talk about lucid dreaming was because there is a really strong correlation between manifesting and lucid dreaming. Do you know where I'm getting at with this? Do you want to take it from here?
No, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm getting into this.
So why lucid dreaming is important? If you think about your life before you became a conscious manifestor, before you realized that you were creating your reality, what were you doing? You were living out your life according to all of the beliefs that you had at that time. Things maybe were going well for you, maybe things weren't going well for you in some areas. For whatever reason, you came to manifesting because you wanted to change something in your life. And in my view of consciousness, the point before you realized that you are creating your reality, you're basically dreaming through life. You're not consciously creating it. You're conscious during it, but you're not aware of the fact that you are creating everything. And the significance in lucid dreaming is that, Mel, you've had a lucid dream.
I've had many, yes.
So you know,
recently.
What is the cool thing about becoming lucid in your dream? What can you do in your dream when you become lucid?
You basically control it.
Right.
You decide which is what manifesting is.
Exactly.
You're deciding how it goes, what happens. It's if you've never done it, it is a very, very cool experience. I have actually, I didn't know it until a few years ago, that as a child I lucid dreamt all the time.
Same.
I did it all the time, and I can remember when I was young, my mother telling me, yeah, you can control your dreams. And I was like, yeah, I've done it before. And she goes, that's good. And so if I had a dream and I didn't like the way it went, I could also, when I was a child, I could go back the next night and have that same dream. I would do the dream over again.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. I actually just now remembered that I used to do that as I was telling you. I would go back and dream it the next night and change how the dream went to what I wanted it to be, which is probably why I'm so good at manifesting.
Probably. I would say that's a good indicator for sure. Actually, we're all really great at manifesting because it's our natural ability. we're learning to do it intentionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. When I was a kid, I also lucid dreamed. I would fly in my dreams as a kid.
Too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It is.
And I think that's a common thing. And then as I started lucid dreaming as an adult, it became having sex. Because I was like,
I mean, not a bad dream to have.
I flew for a little bit, and then it's like, this is fun, but I want to go have some sex. Sorry, TMI, but that's what happens when I'm dreaming and I'm asleep. So what I want to get back to when we get back to manifesting is that when you are taking control of your consciousness and reality, you can change your reality in the same way that you can change your dream when you become aware in your dream.
Yes.
And it's just an analogy. It's the same thing. Like, this is the nature of consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
is that we're always creating. We're creating when we're awake, and we're creating when we're asleep. When we are dreaming subconsciously and we're not lucid, we are still creating based on our dominant state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it works in reality. We are still creating based on our dominant state. And when you become lucid in reality, you take control in the same way that you do in your dream. So how can we use lucid dreams to our advantage? Do you have any ideas on that?
I think probably the best answer for that is once you become lucid and you are aware that you are creating the dream, you start creating the reality that you want. So if you have a specific person, you start creating your end story with that specific person. If your end story is money, your dream job, your dream home, whatever it is.
I just had, oh my God, can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
Because I just had a realization, and I think you're going to get a kick out of this.
I know I am.
A few months back, I don't even know if I told you this. A few months back, I had a lucid dream. And in my dream, I decided I wanted to summon a specific person.
Yes, you did tell
Did I
me
tell
about
you who
that.
it was?
I remember. Yes.
Person whose name starts with an A.
Yes.
Okay. So the funny thing was that I pulled out my phone because I was like, well, first it was a kid. And so I asked the kid, I'm like, hey, can you go get this person and bring them back to me? And the kid took off and like came back with a child. And I was like, actually, I wanted the grown-up version. So thank you. And so then I took out my phone and I was like, in my dream, I was like, I'm just going to text him and be like, hey, come here. And so I texted him, but I wanted to text him, but my phone wasn't working properly. And so at that point, I just started walking and I was like, I'm going to just go find him. So I just started walking down the road. And then there was this big truck coming towards me. Dreams don't make sense. I know, it's weird. Big truck coming towards me. And then the next thing I know, I'm in my bed asleep and he is there with me and I'm holding his hands in mine. And then I get freaked out and I wake myself up because I'm like, holy shit, that felt real. Mm-hmm. The crazy thing is that I just realized right now is that I just got back in contact with this person recently.
Yes.
And I'm kind of wondering, like, I need to go back in my timeline and figure out when I had this dream and when this person came back into my life, because he's back into my life. And also shares the same name as the guy that I'm currently dating. Mm-hmm. And this was before I met him. Yeah.
Yes, so, I do remember when as soon as you started telling it, I was like, yeah, you did. I remember exactly when it happened.
It was December, November or December when I had that dream. Yep. And I met this guy, the current guy that I'm dating, in January. And I reconnected with this person from my dream in February. So, you know what? You can manifest some crap when you're lucid dreaming.
Sometimes we manifest, you and I do this all the time. We manifest stuff and don't even realize it until we're having a conversation with each other or with you guys.
And it's like, oh, wait a minute, I planted that seed months ago and didn't realize.
Yes, and I mean, we manifest shit all the time. We're like constantly manifesting shit.
It's weird. It's crazy because in this specific lucid dream that I'm referencing, I wasn't trying to summon this person because I wanted a relationship or to date them or to even, I just wanted to see if I could bring someone into my dream, and for whatever reason, my subconscious picked him. Apparently it did really well because it brought him back into my reality too.
Yeah, that's too funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So another way that you can manifest using lucid dreams, if you become lucid in your dream, like Mel said, create the scenario that you want to happen in real life, and you may find yourself in a similar position with that person or another person that shares his name, or both.
And and you can assign meaning to it. So you can assign the meaning of, if you, for example, manifest somebody who has the same name as an SP, you can assign the meaning of that's your birds before land, which is meaning that it's just showing it's on its way. Yep. Kind of like, it's like when you want to get your dream car and then you start seeing it everywhere, it's your subconscious is showing you
that it's impressed.
It's impressed, and like that manifestation, here it comes, so get ready for it.
Yes.
So, I think that's really cool.
Yes.
I love that.
So I think that's just another way that you can use dreams in manifesting if you are able to become lucid. So let's talk about how you can become lucid really quick. I will tell you right now, I've only ever done it spontaneously. I've never been able to do it on command or with the intention. That's not to say that you can't. If you set that intention every night before you go to sleep, tell your subconscious, I'm going to become lucid tonight, and work on your dream recall, you can become lucid. I will say that for me, what happens is I generally become lucid when I'm having a nightmare. And I actually had a lucid dream last night, and that's what made me think about this. I had a nightmare that there was a scary guy from a movie coming after me. I don't know if you remember from the 80s Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
He haunted my dreams as a child, and apparently he's back. Freddy came back last night. And I used to be, in my dreams, I would run and hide. And I would like be in a house, and I'd run and hide in the closet. I'd run into another room if he was coming in the room. In my dream last night, I was like, screw this. I'm not going to run and hide anymore. And I ran out of that house. I'm like, if he gets me, I will just wake up. And that's how I realized, I was dreaming, because I was like, I'm just going to wake up. And so I love that, because looking back on it now, I could tell that my dominant state is a lot less fearful than it used to be and more willing to confront things head on. So that was an interesting insight that I got from that. Yeah.
So, kind of piggybacking on a point you just made with where you said that you weren't sure because you've only ever done it spontaneously.
Yes.
When I was a kid and I used to do it, as a parent, I haven't done it as an adult. Now I kind of want to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of try it now and see if I can do it.
I'll post some stuff in the description for a community where you can find out more about lucid dreaming and some techniques you can practice.
For me as a kid, I never thought about it. I just did it. I was just like, I'm just going to go back and dream that same dream tonight because I want to change it.
Like you set the intention and
yes, and I did. I would say, I would just think it. I'd be like, I don't really like how this dream went. I'd wake up in the morning. I'd be like, I don't really like how this dream went. I'm going to dream it tonight.
You revised your dreams.
I did. Apparently I was revising before I even knew what revision was.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was all I did. It was setting the intention. I would just decide, when I'd wake up and I didn't like the way the dream was, I'd be like, I'm going to change that tonight. And you don't even have to. Sometimes if it was, if I woke up in the middle of the night and I didn't like a dream, I'd be like, I'm going to go back to sleep and I'm going to change that right now. And I did every single time. But I think, unfortunately, sometimes as we get older, we forget the really cool things that we can do and our abilities.
I think as a kid, maybe it's easier for us to lucid dream because we're more apt to remember our dreams because we find them more engaging as a child than maybe we do as an adult, because as an adult, maybe we get used to dreaming a lot and there's nothing significant. Yeah, maybe. But that's not to say that you can't relearn it. I'm lucid dreaming now more than I ever have in my life, probably. It's unfortunate it usually starts with a nightmare, but at least...
That's your assumption.
But I also... another thing is, I don't have nightmares as often as I used to, which is nice. So anyway, I'm going to post some... information in the description box of where you can find out more about lucid dreaming.
And share with us, have you ever lucid dreamt before, or is it something that you currently are doing? Tell us what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this?
Absolutely. We want to hear all about it. And please like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget, go out and create that dream life.